Hi there, I'm Steve Fowler. I'm an automotive journalist and a Škoda owner. And like you, I'm really excited to have a look around the new Škoda Elroq. We're just going to take a walk around the car. I'm going to show you some of the things that have really impressed me and I know you're going to love as well. And I'm going to start with the styling. Now this is the first interpretation of Škoda's modern solid styling. Now we've already seen bits of that in some of the cars that have been launched this year, but this is the first time the whole car has been designed with that design theme. What that means is the car is functional, it's efficient, it looks really great too, and there are some lovely little features. I love, for example, these LED driving lights. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that on Škodas in the future. Another thing is, you know, cars these days are so advanced, they've got so many cameras and things, it's difficult to hide them. Sometimes you get an ugly disc or something on the front of the car. This is called a tech deck at the front of the car. Behind it is all the technology that's going to keep you and your family safe. I think that's really clever. Right, let's have a look around the car. Being an electric car, of course, there's a charging port and it's handily sited here near the back of the car. And Škoda's simply clever features are something I absolutely love. There's normally an ice scraper sitting inside there, but I've got news for you. It's moved. There's still an ice scraper. Don't worry. Fabulous little features. Now, let's have a look in the back, in the boot. Now, this boot, numbers-wise, 470 litres. It goes up to 1,580 litres, but numbers mean nothing until you have a look and see how big it is. Electric boot door. You've got to love that, haven't you? As with all Škodas, there's always loads of space, and there's loads of space in the boot here, whether you've got suitcases or your gym gear or your work gear. Now, this is no ordinary parcel shelf. Not only do you get this lovely cable storage area, it actually moves. So you can take it out and move it down a level. There you go. You can put your shopping on there too. That'll take 3 kilograms apparently. So let's just move that. This is another thing. So I don't always have my dog in the car, but she goes in the car an awful lot. What do you do with the parcel shelf? Simply clever. Škoda have found a solution to that. You just slide it down the back of the boot. That's absolutely brilliant. One last thing. Remember that ice scraper? Here it is. Not forgotten. The ice scraper now sits just inside the boot. What's more, it's made of sustainable materials these days. Love it. This is absolutely genius. Who thought I would love a boot quite as much as this? But I promised you more. There's more clever stuff inside. Let's have a look. Now, I'm not a natural backseat passenger. I'm nearly 6 foot tall and with what somebody once politely described as rugby player build. Not sure they were being nice, but we've had somebody who's 6'3" in the back of this car. And one of the things I love about electric cars is the space that they give you. They give you more space inside than a similarly sized car with a petrol or diesel engine. You've got no engine up front, you've got no transmission tunnel or exhaust running through the middle, so you've got a completely flat floor, which makes it much nicer for the person that's sitting in the middle. And there is plenty of space in here. I've got decent leg room, loads of headroom. Could be wearing a top hat. And it's easy for fitting the child seat. You've got ISOFIX points in here. The doors open nice and wide, so not only can you get the child seat in, you can put your young one in the seat really easily. And with so much leg room, they're not going to be kicking the seat in front. In terms of storage in here, you've got the traditional seat back pockets, but you've got little ones for your mobile phone to go in as well. Of course, mobile phones need charging. You've got USB-C sockets down there. And look, a button for a heated seats in the back. Now that's luxury, isn't it? There's also big door bins for storage with a bottle holder down there. There's a storage area here, which you can put bottles. So there's a cup holder there, and of course cup holders here in the armrest should you want it. And a couple of other little features that I really like. There's a standard sun blind so the sun doesn't stray onto little ones' faces if we ever see the sun, and orange seat belts. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Talking about fun, it's my turn now to get behind the wheel. One thing I find really convenient is keyless entry and keyless go, and you get that on the Elroq too. It's actually a really nice key, but all you've got to do is keep it in your pocket or your bag and then approach the car, grab the handle, it'll unlock securely, and you open the door. There are nice lights to welcome you on the floor. And of course, this would not be a Škoda if there wasn't an umbrella hidden in the door. And it's made of sustainable materials. You don't have to use the keyless system. Of course, you've still got a key and you can still clip it if you really want to. But once you're inside the car, as long as you've got the key on your person, you don't even need to touch the start button there. You just put your foot on the brake, select the gear you want, and off you go. The car has already sprung to life. Now, when you get to your destination you want to get out, you've got to make sure that the car is in park. Then you just get out and lock the door. And you can use the key or just by simply touching the handle. Now, when I get into any car, and I've tested thousands over the years, I always do a bit of a quality check. So I'm looking at the quality of materials used around, and in here it's really good. There's nice soft touch plastics everywhere where you're going to touch. All the door controls, they feel good. The materials on the seat are really nice. Lots of sustainable materials in here as well. And the driving position is really good. There's really loads of adjustment for the steering wheel, and this car's got electric seats, so it can go backwards and forwards and up and down, so I make sure I'm really comfortable for the journey ahead. Visibility is really good too, whether I'm looking behind, over my shoulder. I really love big mirrors, and this car has some really decent sized mirrors. There's also cameras in here to help you when you're maneuvering, and a big head-up display that is crystal clear, multicolored, and a driver's display a bit lower down, and you can put what you like, the information that you want in there, you can select. Now, there's loads of simply clever storage areas in here, big door bins for your cups, and it's lined. It feels really nice in there. More cup holders here. There's a nice area there to put stuff. Underneath it again, because this is an electric car, you don't have to worry about transmissions and things like that. So there's space under there. There's storage under your elbow with a nice container there. And if I just move that there, of course, if you need to charge your mobile phone, and who doesn't, there is wireless charging down there. The key here is that's cooled. How often have you had wireless charging where your phone overheats and then Apple CarPlay disappears? Well, of course, there is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Back to the storage, there's a nice handy glove box. Why do we call them glove boxes? There's never any gloves in there, are there? Right, let's have a look at the infotainment system, shall we? One thing I really like about this infotainment system is that you can always see the climate control button, so you can very easily turn the temperature up, or you can put your heated seats on, because you've got heated seats in the front as well as the back. You've also got, as I've discovered on the steering wheel, a heated steering wheel, and if you've never had a heated steering wheel before, it's going to change your life. Trust me. You can also adjust the volume, and there are controls here for the cruise control, adaptive cruise control. Remember, that tech deck at the front has some of the sensors for adaptive cruise control. Again, really makes life easier on the motorway. Just makes you relax a little bit more, even though you are always in control. Back to the infotainment. Now, I'm going to try here and pair my phone. Let's try and pair my phone and see how simple it is to pair my phone. So on the main screen, without even going into the settings, there's something that says connect phone. So I'm going to connect phone, and bear in mind, I have not done this before. So what I also have to do in my phone is go into the Bluetooth menu, and amongst the many cars that are on here, look, it already says my Škoda. So I'm going to press my Škoda there, and it's already giving me a pair number, which is the same as the pair number up there. So I'm going to press pair on my phone there and select yes on there. It's thinking about it. Do I want to allow it to connect to my contacts and my favorites? Yes. So it's going through the pairing process. Can it be that simple? Yes, it can. Connect to Apple CarPlay? Why not? Connect. Press Apple CarPlay on there. Now that really could not be easier. I've already got some content that's showing from my phone, and I can just turn the volume down there, but Apple CarPlay has come up simply. My phone is connected. That really could not have been easier, could it? Okay, let's get away from Apple CarPlay. Now there are some simple buttons along here. If I want to go back to the home button, the home screen, I press the obviously the home thing. If I want to go to the entertainment, there's a music thing there showing that I've been listening to the 10 to the Top podcast. Thoroughly recommended. If I want to use my phone, it'll bring up a phone system there. There's a little circle with an arrow in it, which means I can go back to Apple CarPlay, or I can look at a selection of apps that I have there, which adjusts the sound, the air conditioning, again set for users, so all your information can be stored on your key, so even the seats will position themselves for you when you get in the car. Yeah, this is really simple. The user experience, the UX, which is what all the people call around these systems, is really impressive. At the top here, you've also got some of the symbols that can take you back to the main car menus. You can put the system on that stops bad smells coming inside of the car. You can auto hold the brakes. You can adjust the lane keep assist up in the top left hand corner, and other settings in the right. So I like the fact that there are fast keys around there. Now this is something I haven't done as well. I'm going to try and set a navigation destination. So that's simple. You look for the arrow there, or if you were at the home screen, you just simply touch that. There we go. That couldn't be simpler. So what am I going to look for if I'm setting a destination? Well, it's going to be a search of some sort. The search button is the magnifying glass, the international symbol for search. Where do I want to go? Why don't I go to a Škoda dealer, because I'm quite liking this. I might actually go and buy one. So let's just type in Škoda. Oh, it already says Škoda dealer nearby. So there we go, Škoda dealers nearby. It's given me a list of very good Škoda dealers near me, so I can just select one of those and the navigation will kick in. So I really like the navigation. You know, I've sat in many cars where it's really difficult to use, but I've paired my phone very simply without ever having done that before. And I've set a navigation destination without ever having done that before. Really easy. Another thing I think is important is having these fast keys down the bottom. So if you quickly want to put the rear demister on, you can press that button. If you want maximum defrost on the windscreen, you can press that button. That button will take you to the climate controls very quickly, so you can adjust things there. There's the lock, the hazard lights, of course, very important to be very obvious at the front there. And you've got a self-parking system here. Press that button there and it will take you to the self-parking system. If you've never had your car park itself, you're in for a treat. There are also driving modes. A button there that says mode. You can go through eco mode to get as much range as you possibly can. Normal, which most people will leave their car in. There's a sport mode as well if you want a bit of fun behind the wheel, and an individual mode where you can choose the best of both. And a button that there will also activate all the various options around the driver assistance system. So in a world where touchscreens are getting ever more confusing for some people, I think Škoda has done a really good job of usability in here, with some fast keys and some set keys here, and a really lovely 13-inch display that I think sets the car off really nicely. So from an inside point of view, it's comfortable, it's high quality, there's loads of very usable tech, loads of storage space. It's a thumbs up from me. There really is so much to the new Škoda Elroq, and a host of reasons why I'm so excited about this car, and I hope you are too.